pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Welcome everyone to the Goldendale City Council meeting, regular meeting for February 16th, 2021. This meeting is available on Zoom and on telephone, and all of that information is either on the agenda or on the website. We'll have the roll call now. Connie?
Andy?
I'm here.
Phil? Oops. He wasn't on there yet. Phil? Oh, it's still connecting. Okay, Phil?
Yes, I'm here.
Lauren? I know you're there.
Here. Here.
Mylan?
Here.
Kevin?
Here.
Shannon?
Here.
Julie?
I'm here.
So we have a full council.
Yeah.
Very good. We don't have a public hearing tonight. We have an agenda and we have an amendment for the agenda. We need to add under council business and piece of business on the authorization to pursue agreement with Washington State Department of Transportation, WSDOT. That'll be presented under council business, but we need to have it on the agenda. Do I have a motion to amend the agenda?
This is Mylan, so move.
And a second.
Second.
It's been moved to approve the amended agenda as well as consent agenda. All in favor?
Aye. Aye. Aye.
Thank you. Any opposed or otherwise? Thank you. We don't have a presentation tonight, so we'll begin with department reports, and we'll start with our chief of police.
Don't have very much tonight. Last Friday we had a sergeant's oral board for the second position of the sergeant in the Goldendale Police Department. Had 4 candidates. Right now I'm waiting for the results from civil service on those candidates. And over the weekend we had a physical control arrest on a possible under the influence of narcotics. Suspended driver arrest. We only had 1 accident that I've seen in town, no injuries, so it was pretty mild for us this past weekend. And there was an arrest, a felony arrest on an extortion case that Officer Diamond worked and did a good job on it, but there's more to be done. So, but other than that, the weekend was fair.
Thank you, Chief.
I have something to tell him.
Oh, good. Connie.
I wanted to tell you guys that I got kudos today from people that said the Public Works crew did a terrific job cleaning down Main Street and all the other streets, but mainly Main Street because they didn't have the pile in the middle.
They always do a good job. I'm very happy with them. They do a fantastic job.
Was that your report?
That's it.
Oh.
Thank you. I'm not looking at my telephone. I'm just trying to get the sound turned off of it. It's off now. Thank you, Connie. Is Noah Hall, our chief, our fire chief here?
Noah's
Yeah,
here.
I'm here, Mayor.
Okay, if you could give your thanks.
Well, I don't really have too much to report. We did have a vehicle fire yesterday, and we did respond to the car accident the police chief talked about. Other than that, it's been slow. We have had a lot of help with our firefighters making sure our sidewalks are all clean around here. So thank the firefighters for that, and that's all I have.
Thank you, Noah. Is Doug on from Public
Yes,
Works?
Doug's on there.
Doug, did you want to give an update on Public Works?
There he goes.
Okay.
Yeah, I got nothing tonight.
Oh, okay. Well, I want to thank you and your crew for all the work that was done on cleaning the streets of snow. Probably the worst situation you could have if you were going to be cleaning streets. 4 or 5 days of snow, a little bit here, a little bit there, a little bit there, makes it an incredibly difficult job. But we appreciate the work that you all have done consistently again and again, but also the recognition from people around town that appreciated how Main Street was cleared, how other streets had been cleared. We appreciate that. It's very important. Thank you and your crew. We're
I
going to
would
go
also like to thank them.
Who's that?
Kevin.
Oh, yes, yeah, absolutely. We'll go to council business now, and the first item is a notice of award for work at 622 Northeast 3rd. And Larry Bellamy will present this.
Okay, this is a request for a bid award to a low bid on the cleanup efforts at 622 Northeast 3rd. We've been working on this project for quite some time. We've had some issues, legal issues that we've been working closely with our city attorney on. And there's like 3 different elements that we have to finish on that particular piece of property. One of them is we have to make contact with the owner to determine if he wants any of the vehicles there delivered to a certain spot. And then along with that, if there are any left over that have people in them, we've got to work on getting those people to move out. And hopefully the 2 vehicles that they're currently living in will be moved to a different location. Once that is complete, then we can go in and clean up the property, get all of the accumulated materials taken to the transfer station, and that's the piece that we're working on. The 3rd piece will be the actual movement of the vehicles via towing provided by Bishop Services, or Bishop Towing and Recovery, I guess would be the proper term. And so once all that is complete and the cleanup is done, then they can come in and actually move the vehicles out, and then we'll finalize the certification of costs to the county treasurer's office, and then it will act as a lien on their property, payable and foreclosed upon just like any other property tax lien. So we needed to have this piece in place so that they're ready to go when it's time. And so while we work through getting all these issues resolved in accordance with the attorney's instructions, then this piece will be ready to go if we give notice of award to Green's Tree Removal. They've already done one project for us. They did it satisfactorily, and we'd like to issue a notice of award to Green's Tree Removal for nuisance abatement services at 622 Northeast 3rd. We recommend that to happen.
Thank you, Larry. Do we have questions or discussion from the council? Do we have a motion?
I move to authorize the mayor to execute a notice of award between Green's Tree Removal Service and the city of Goldendale for nuisance abatement services at 622 Northeast 3rd Street in the amount not to exceed $4,837.50.
Thank you. Do we have a second?
This is Julie, I'll second.
It has been moved and seconded to authorize the mayor to execute a notice of award between Green's Tree Removal and the city of Goldendale for nuisance abatement services at 622 Northeast 3rd Street in the amount not to exceed $4,837.50. Any further questions or discussion? If not, all in favor?
Aye.
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 Any?
Aye.
Any against? The motion passes unanimously. Thank you. There, were you going to do the ones?
You can go ahead and do that one.
Okay. We have right now 4 members on the Planning Commission for City of Goldendale. We have a 5th person who stepped forward, and I've nominated John Kuski, a resident here in Goldendale for some 40 years. And he had expressed interest in serving, and it's his desire to be on the Planning Commission, and the mayor would like to appoint him to the final open position. This will give us a full 5-person Planning Commission board. The appointment of John Kuski will be for a term that expires on 12/31/2025. Do we have a motion? Or comments or questions?
I move to confirm the mayor's appointment of John Kuski to serve on the Goldendale Planning Commission.
Do we have a second?
I second.
Thank you. It's been moved and seconded to confirm the mayor's appointment of John Kuski to serve on the Goldendale Planning Commission. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Any opposed?
Aye.
Thank you. Any opposed? Thank you. The next item under council business is consultant agreement for Byers Street water main replacement. And Larry will give us the details on that one.
At the last council meeting, we mentioned that Pioneer Surveying and Engineering was chosen as the preferred engineering firm to provide water and sewer infrastructure improvements as well as streets and sidewalks. And so we do have a project that is combined with the Byers Street Improvement Project, or reconstruction project. And we want to make sure that the water main is replaced prior to that being done. We've asked Pioneer Surveying and Engineering to provide us a proposal and an agreement to do that work, and they are willing to do it and get on it pretty quickly here. And we would like to recommend that. I also wanted to make note, I guess, too, that it has to be a separate contract because Transportation Improvement Board does not allow water and sewer infrastructure to be part of their costs that they cover. They only do the streets, storm drainage, and sidewalks, so it has to be a separate contract. However, as they get to construction, they can have the construction all in one main project and then separate schedules so they can keep track of what's being billed to TIB and what's not. So this is just the consultant agreement proposal for the water main replacement project. And I would also like to note that Dustin is here tonight if you have any questions for him as well. We would recommend that the council go ahead with this consultant agreement for the water main replacement on Byers Street.
Do we have questions or comments?
Mayor, yeah, I think we do. As we know, this piece of this street is attached to my land, and I'm going to abstain from it. But I do have one question about it. Are we paying for the asphalt? How much co-pay are we actually paying for this? But the reality is, it will improve my property, and I'm for it, and so I have to shut up about it.
Dustin, can you react to that, please?
Yeah, the application that we put in for TIB to fund for the project was basically they pay 90% and the city of Goldendale pays 10%. So it's, the grant's gonna cover 90% of the asphalt cost and the entire project cost.
Any other comments or questions from the council?
This is Lauren. I'll make a motion to authorize the mayor to execute the agreement with Pioneer Survey and Engineering. And also just want to thank Dustin for the thorough scope of work and budget that he provided in the application, in the information here tonight.
Thank you, Lauren. Do we have a second?
This is Phil, second.
Thank you. It's been moved and seconded to authorize the mayor to execute an agreement Pioneer Surveying and Engineering for design and construct phase engineering in an amount not to exceed $18,845. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Abstain.
Kevin abstained.
Oh, and Kevin abstained. Thank you, Kevin. We understand. The next item of business is the consultant agreement for Byers Street road reconstruction. And Larry Bellamy will give us the details.
Again, this is, as we talked about briefly, this is the portion of the project that is 90% paid by Transportation Improvement Board and 10% by the city. This is the engineering portion that includes not only the design and bid documentation, design for the plans and specifications and the bidding, as well as the construction inspection. So it's for the entire project from beginning to end. And we would recommend that, again, that we hire Pioneer Surveying Engineering to perform these duties on the Byers Road Improvement Project in an amount not to exceed $114,135.
Do we have questions or comments from the council? And Dustin Conroy is on the line. If they're hard questions, Dustin will get them. All right, do we have a motion and a second?
This is Lauren. So moved.
It's Mylan, all second.
Thank you both. It's been moved and seconded to authorize the mayor to execute a consultant agreement with Pioneer Surveying and Engineering for the 2021 Byers Road Improvement Project in an amount not to exceed $114,135. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Once again, Mayor, I'm sorry, I do have to
That's
back
fine.
away from this one.
That's good. Are there any opposed? If not, the motion passes, and this has been a long-standing desire of people living on Byers Street to get these projects done, and it's really something that is really has taken quite a bit of work, but it's on its way, and we're glad it's happening. Now we have the item that was added to the agenda, number 5, is authorization to pursue agreement with WSDOT, Washington State Department of Transportation. This has to do with a paving project, and it's some very good news in my view. Larry, if you can present that.
Okay, this came to us late last week, and we wanted to move it along because, as I mentioned in my explanation, that the state Washington Department of Transportation has put this on the fast track. I hope all of you received the documentation that we sent today via email. But in it shows a picture of the part that the city's going to pay for. It's from Simcoe Drive up to the entrance with McDonald's. And I've been informed by both Doug Frantum and by Dustin Conroy that this is a much-needed project
Right.
to be completed. And we felt like having the Washington State Department of Transportation do it while they're doing the paving project would be the most cost-effective way to improve that piece of road. So as it states, this is an opportunity to repair the approach at East Simcoe Drive with Highway 97. And this agreement that we're working towards has to be in place by the fourth day of March. And so we would ask for this council meeting that we respond to the Department of Transportation stating that we agree with the estimate moving forward and including East Simcoe Drive work into the WSDOT WSDOT's project. So this is just the first step, which indicates once approved, then we can go forward with preparing the agreement and getting that in place by the next council meeting so that the mayor can sign it and we can get on their schedule. So their schedule is that they gotta have the bid documents out by March 4th. And for us to be included in that process, we have to do these two steps to get us in this position to where this road that needs to be fixed pretty badly will be able to be repaired. And again, if you have any questions about the estimate and things like that, I've asked Dustin Conroy to review the estimate to make sure it seems reasonable and cost-effective for us to do this at this time. The funding for this will come out of, I'm proposing for it to come out of the Economic Development Fund, which we have a balance in that account of approximately $35,000, which covers most of the costs. So any balance we would take from the housing rehab, and that housing rehab fund has about $65,000, so it can handle another $8,000 to $10,000. But we feel like this is the best opportunity to get this piece of roadway improved so that it can benefit to that particular interchange off Highway 97. Did you want to add anything to that, Dustin?
I did have a follow-up conversation with Mark about an hour ago this evening, and just to confirm their schedule, and yes, this is their schedule. Unfortunately, it's kind of rushed for the city, but all final documents have to be done by March 3rd so they can go out to bid on March 4th. And as far as price goes, just the size of their project is so large, they're going to get should get a good price just based upon the scale of the project. And I don't think the city could put it out for bid and get any better price. I think it would probably be increased price if nothing else.
And this is just an estimate, right, Dustin? So if the bid prices change a little bit, that will affect the bottom line dollar for this?
Absolutely. This is their best guess with their engineering and everything in it. We won't know until they have their bid opening, which will probably be April, first part of April. But I would imagine, I looked at their estimates and they're in line with what I would expect.
Does the council have questions or comments before?
Yeah, Larry, I don't mean to be a pain in the ass, but you know I always am. When you say we're gonna pull money out of a different budget line, what are we talking there? You know,
Well, we have some funds that are available for special projects that we keep aside for these special times. We already have a match for the Byers Street project that we have to make sure there's enough money for that, which we've done in the original budget. These funds that I spoke of our special funds that we keep aside for projects just like this, when we can take advantage of a situation where they're doing some paving in that area, and then we are able to do our part for a cost-effective manner, in a cost-effective manner. We did the same thing when Clickitat County improved Bickleton Highway. There was a piece of that Bickleton Highway from Broadway to the bridge going east that was inside the city limits. And we did the same thing there. We arranged with Clickitat County to do that work, and we were able to pull some monies from these special funds to make that happen.
So, just for anybody who's listening that's not city employees or working on the city council, we are not taking any money away from anybody's mouths.
No,
We are not taking any money away from their benefits.
correct.
We're just trying to improve our city and just make it a better place.
Correct.
Okay, just following up on that. Thank you, Larry. I apologize for talking once again.
Thank you, Kevin. It's absolutely fine. Are there other comments or questions? If not, to go to a vote, we need a motion and a second. Do we have a motion?
I have a motion to approve this project.
Very good. Do we have a second?
Second,
I'm going to read the complete statement for this document. And if there's any questions or discussion, we can go back to it. It's been moved and seconded to authorize the mayor that we agree with the estimate moving forward and including East Simcoe Drive work into WashDOT's project. Any questions or comments? Because right now we're just agreeing to an estimate. We'll have final figures very soon. If not, I'll call for a vote.
Aye.
Aye.
aye. Aye. Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you very much. Looks like we're going to have a busy spring and summer in Goldendale. That completes our council business. We'll go on now to report of officers and city administrator, and we're doing it a little bit differently tonight because Larry has some additional business in addition to his report, and I also have a proclamation to read after Larry's business. So Larry, if you would begin.
Okay, in your packet, you did receive a revenue and expenditure report that has recorded the revenues and expenditures for the month of January 2021. That's in the period column of the expenditure and revenue report. The main change that we made from the beginning in January of 2021 was to move the $5,000 from the emergency services line to an increase in the total fire control budget. And we increased the fire control budget by $5,000 from $139,000 to $144,000. So this is just for the month of, this is the report for the month of January. And normally what we'll do is we'll always present the previous month's report of revenue and expenditure at the second council meeting in the next month. So of course, for January, we're reporting that by this particular council meeting, which is the 16th of February. What we look for in the next couple months is as we get closer to the quarter ending, the things that we look for will be to look at the actual estimates versus the estimated beginning cash numbers compared to the actuals and see if there's any adjustments that need to be made there. Or, again, we just look at these on a quarterly basis with the budget committee and we'll note any requests that need to be adjusted. Like, for instance, we talked about tonight this project on East Simcoe Drive. We need to make those adjustments at a budget committee and then bring that to the full council. So we'll do that in this first quarter and try to follow up so we don't get behind and make sure that our numbers are looking good. So that's it for my report on the revenue and expenditure. The next thing I'd like to touch on are some dates. We have been working on the lodging tax funding applications, and we indicated to the event committee, which is, I believe it's Andy Holm, Philberto, and Julie Buck. We had included a schedule of presentations for the 2021 lodging tax funding applications, and we have an application, the application presentation, and the applicant presentations to the event committee was scheduled for tomorrow at on February 17th. I don't know that I've mentioned that other than making sure that you got a copy of this application with that in it, but I did want to make sure that if we want to stay on schedule, our Philberto, Julie, and Andy Holm, are you available on Tuesday? That would be, no, excuse me, Wednesday. Did I say Tuesday? Okay, I meant Wednesday. That would be Wednesday, February 17th. So if you're available,
What time?
I think we would like to do it at 7 o'clock. But I just want to confirm that those three are available.
This is
Larry,
Julia.
this is Phil. I'm busy on Wednesday evenings.
Okay?
If that's the only date I can make it happen.
Okay, are you available, are you not available on any Wednesday?
Yeah, usually Wednesdays are pretty busy for me, Wednesday evenings.
Okay, how about on the 25th of February, which is a Thursday?
Okay, would that set us back or would that keep us on track though?
It would keep us on track because the presentation of the event committee's recommendation will be made at the March 1st council meeting.
Okay, if we can do Thursday, if it's okay with everybody else, that would be great. Just don't want to set us back though. This is Andy, and that works for me.
That's Julie.
Julie?
Julie, can you make it?
Sorry about that. I keep myself instead of unmuting myself. Yes, I can make the 25th.
Okay, we'll schedule it for the 25th of February then. And we will call the applicants tomorrow and let them know that that's the date that we've chosen for them to make the presentations. And so I'll be getting a packet to the event committee. There were four applicants. The Goldendale Chamber of Commerce requested $35,000. Brighter Goldendale Christmas Committee requested $4,000. Farmers Market requested $1,500, and GMA Goldendale Motorsports Association requested $8,000. So we indicated that well, I should say first that total is $48,500, and we indicated to them that the amount available was going to be closer to $40,000. So we'll have some work to do there, but we'll listen to their presentations and come up with a recommendation for the council to consider at the meeting on the 1st of March. Thank you. I appreciate that. Okay. Okay, so moving backwards, as far as the calendar of events, We've been mentioning this for quite some time, but the current date for a special meeting workshop on council do's and don'ts provided by the Executive Director of Washington City's Insurance Authority is scheduled for next Monday night, which would be the 22nd of February at 7 p.m. And I will be sending you out a handout that she uses. I will put, the handouts are copies of PowerPoint presentations. It's totally up to you, but I'll put a copy of that PowerPoint presentation in your boxes. Or you can just, or in the alternative, you can still get them online. We'll put them online for you too and send them via email. And you can use those either way. So I just want to remind you of that training that's coming up. A couple other things on the agenda of things happening and upcoming would be on the 24th of February. We're going to have a planning commission meeting to discuss and to consider the application of the Rhodes family for a rezone and a subdivision at near the intersection of 18th Street and Columbus, South Columbus. That'll be happening on next Wednesday. And then also related to that same project, they're going to require a variance. They're requesting a variance application to be considered, and that will be presented to the Board of Adjustment on the 17th of March. This is important because that piece needs to kind of coincide with the rezone subdivision application so it can be concurrently considered. So while the rezone subdivision application has to go to Planning Commission, it also has to go to the City Council. And so we can hopefully do these things, do both of these applications concurrently and not hold the applicant up any more than we have to get through all of the different requests that are being made. Okay.
Is that at 7 o'clock also?
And that's also at 7 o'clock. Okay, and I think that's about it for me.
Thank you, Larry. Good report. I would like to go ahead and present a proclamation for the Red Cross Month. Just to explain what it is for you, it's a proclamation without restrictions or masks or anything. So it's a little bit easier to present. But this has to do with Red Cross Month is March for 2021. And if we look at the Red Cross and all the humanitarian services that it provides, this is something that will impact our Red Cross activities in the Cascades region. And so I'm going to read a 3-paragraph proclamation on this so that it'll be noted, it'll bring attention in the paper and other places that we might be able to support more closely Red Cross. Whereas the American Red Cross is a humanitarian organization that eases people's suffering during the life's emergencies throughout Southwest Washington, Oregon, across the United States and around the world. Our Red Cross, Cascades Region, and Southwest Washington chapter has a long history of helping our neighbors in need by developing shelter, care, and hope during disasters, making our communities safer through providing life-saving blood, teaching skills that save lives, and supporting military veterans and their families. And whereas the last year in the Cascade region, more than 3,000 volunteers helped the families affected by over 650 home fires by addressing their urgent needs such as food and lodging and providing recovery support. Meanwhile, when large disasters like the fall wildfires devastated our region, volunteers from our area and across the country provided 173,489 overnight stays, as well as 387,590 meals and snacks, and 9,955 relief items, emotional support, recovery planning, and other assistance. And whereas The Red Cross continues to carry out the organization's 140-year mission of preventing and alleviating suffering. During the trying times of the COVID-19 pandemic, people have stepped up to help others in need, whether it was responding to this year's record-breaking disasters across the country or rolling up their sleeves to give more than 148,500 units of blood to the Cascade region when our country faced a severe blood shortage. This life-saving work is vital to strengthening our community's resilience. Nearly 200 years since the birth of American Red Cross founder Clara Barton, we dedicate this month of March to all those who continue to advance her noble legacy, and we ask others to join in their commitment to care for the people in need. Now, therefore, I, Michael Cannon, Mayor of the City of Goldendale, proclaim March 2021 to be Red Cross Month in Goldendale and to encourage all its citizens to join in this observance. This has been a year with a lot of great needs, including the COVID, and Red Cross always steps forward, and it's an incredible blessing to our community, the many, many volunteers that support Red Cross throughout every incident of need. And I truly admire our Red Cross and the workers and volunteers that help so much to help others. It's very fitting for Goldendale to have this type of proclamation, because this is a very giving city. With that, we'll begin the report of councilors. We'll begin with Andy Hall.
Mayor, this is Andy. I don't have anything tonight.
Okay, Phil.
Thank you, Mayor. Nothing tonight.
Julie.
Thank you, Mayor. I just wanted to say that I'm glad to see the restaurants that are open now at 25% capacity. It's nice to be able to go back in and enjoy a meal inside. And also wanted to thank Public Works for their snow removal. They did a great job.
Thank you, Julie. Lauren?
I don't have anything this evening.
Shannon?
I just want to thank all of them, everybody for their hard work snow plowing. I know what they go through. I'm running on fumes right now. Been up since 2:30.
Thank you, Shannon. Kevin?
I also want to thank Public Works. They do a yeoman's work, and they are fantastic.
Excellent, thank you. And Mylan Walling?
Yes, Mayor. Larry, what's anything new on the airport?
We're just waiting on the bids to come back for the fuel system, and we are working on the civil work for the work that has to be done to take over the PUD and prepare the ground for the collection system, and to bring over the power and the communications. He's working on those plans and specifications and getting those ready for bid.
I'm sorry, Larry. I still haven't heard back. I left a message with them, and if you could just have them call me. I'm kind of at a disadvantage right now.
Sure.
I would like to get our airport in touch with the airports down here while I'm here and can represent our city.
Sure, we'll get back to you.
Okay, thank
Kevin,
you. Thank you.
Good point.
Did Mylan finish? Or did Mylan finish?
Mylan, are you finished with your report?
Yes, I am, Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you.
Sorry, Mylan, I wasn't trying to get you off.
I appreciate
No problem.
I appreciate the cooperation that the council has given on these items. This is a busy night. A lot of work is accomplished. A lot will be done because of these decisions you've made tonight. And we'll go on now to public comment. Anyone on the line that wishes to make public comment, if you can limit it to 3 minutes and just give your name and address, just as if you were here with us. Anyone for public comment? Hearing none.
Oh, okay.
Okay, go ahead.
Mayor,
Yes,
this is Larry Hawker. I got a public comment. It kind of adding on to what was being spoke about earlier with the Public Works, and I think I talked to you about the first iteration of it, but I had a water line break in my yard, and Public Works crew came up very quickly after I called and repaired it, just to get it repaired. All three of them worked very well. They were all very efficient, pitched in and got it done. A few weeks later, they came back once, got through the system. There was 2 of the original people, I believe, and then 2 more. So 4 of them came up the second time. I was really impressed with the job they did, and very happy with it. Also got to see how useful a back truck was, and fully support a good back truck for the city in the future, and want to just thank everybody that was involved in that.
thank you, Larry.
Larry, thank you.
Anyone else for public comment? If not, we'll go to adjourn this meeting. Do we have a motion to adjourn?
I so move.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded to adjourn City Council for February 16th, 2021. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
The meeting is adjourned. Thank you all. Really appreciate your work.